Hello Capricorn, Elsie here to do a reading for you. I'm back. How are you? I hope you're well. I hope you had a great Easter, by the way. I just realized I didn't decorate for Easter. I usually do. Anyways, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. And we are going to do a reading for you. Now, generally, I read it for the week ahead, but please understand that time is not linear. It is fluid. So this could resonate for you today, could resonate for you next week, whenever, right? Thanks so much for checking here, for clicking here today. I appreciate you. Your girl just had to sit the hell down. I was exhausted. Between the full moon and being on the cusp of Taurus and Aries, and tell you what, I am exhausted. Yes, Uranus won't get off my tail because I'm a Taurus sun. All this crap that's lining up in Aries, tell you what, just trying not to throw punch anyone. That's all it is. All right, so at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about how to find an extended reading, also how to find a private read. And hey, can you check to see if you are subscribed? Because I noticed myself that the people I'm subscribed to, that I've just been unsubscribed and I had to resubscribe. So hey, can you please check if you have been subscribed? Because maybe one time I floated through your feed and you thought you were subscribed, but I could disappear if you don't catch me. All right, let's find out what's going on. I'm going to read a few of these cards, and then we're going to go into the tarot, find out what's going on for you, Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. All right, what's going on here? We've got the government building. It says public services, administrative agencies. We've got the window. It says framed views. Oh, framed political views for some of you. Glass portal. It says window sill. Somebody is seeing through something. Have you changed your political views? Because I feel like somebody is seeing through something here. It could be that. It doesn't have to be political views, but it does say government building. So, and we do have a picture of the White House here. So it looks like it probably... You're seeing through something, I want to say, a rule or a regulation of society, or a rule or a regulation that you put in your head about your political views. It seems like somebody here had framed their views in a certain way, and it feels like somebody is now looking through the glass portal and realizing that there is much more to see than just what is in front of me. Now that the window's opening, I can see all over the neighborhood and I can see everything that's going on. We've got the temple here. It could be about religion, friend. We've got spiritual practices, meditation, reflection, spiritual guidance. You could be getting this answer by spiritual guidance. It says meditation and reflection, so possibly it comes through a meditation, but there's some sort of spiritual practice. There's a breakthrough in some sort of spiritual practice. So maybe you thought that you weren't a very good manifester, and a lot of people do think this. They think that manifesting is bunk, it doesn't work, they don't think it works for them. But the truth of the matter is, it's because they think that part of manifestation is I said be there on a Tuesday at 5 o'clock. And it didn't show up at Tuesday on 5 o'clock, therefore everything must be bunk. So I feel like something is going to be proven to you, that you can change your mind, you can change your views. It might be religious, it could be political, but it feels like this framed views of yours. It feels like, you know, when you're looking out the window, you can sort of see only so far. When you open the window, you can see this way and that way down the street. So I feel like you're widening your view on something here. And we've got the workspace. It says productive environment, creative zone, technology hub. Look, it could be that you're widening your view about, do I really want to be connected to this place that doesn't match my political views, that doesn't match my religious views, doesn't match my spiritual practices? We've got the workspace here. Somebody could be trying to force any one of those things on you in the workplace. You could be someone who works in the restaurant or culinary industry. Could be at a dinner. It says celebratory dining. It could be at a workplace dinner that you find this out. Something here is changing, I feel, changing your view or changing how you view something. You're going to get a broader view that is going to possibly change your mind or maybe solidify what you already know. And you're like, well, I'm glad I'm in this position that I know what I know. All right, let's find out what's going on. We're going to do a 9-card draw here, Capricorn. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn. My Earth cousins. Thanks for being here, friends. Hope you had a beautiful Easter. Let's find out what's going on for Capricorn. Not just Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Capricorn. We've got the Page of Swords. You are observing something. There's something here to be learned or something you have learned. The Page of Swords is, of course, a messenger like all the pages are, very curious, but this one is digging for information. This one is observing from a distance. This one is very observant. It's probably the most observant of all of the pages here, I would argue. This one is wanting to, and it feels like I've just noticed that the page is holding onto the sword, and look, it's a double-edged sword, and I'm going to say everything is up in the air right now, that maybe you're just reserving judgment about something until you get everything into frame. Tell me more. We could be talking about a public service job or a job with the government. Page of Swords, and we've got the Two of Swords. Look at that. So it feels like you are about to make some sort of decision to release something. Now, I feel like you're not only going with what you see, but you're also going with your intuition. It feels like with this full moon here that something has come full circle, or that you've realized that something has run its course and that you have to make a decision and release something. Now, the Two of Swords, twos are always about decisions, but the Two of Swords is more of I got to cut this out when I go with that. So you're drawing a line in the sand and saying, if I go this way, then I'm showing everybody that I agree with this point of view. If I go that way, then I'm showing everyone that I agree with the other point of view. And I think that's why you're being very careful, observing from a distance and digging up as much information as you can. The pages are always students. So you are not wanting to step on toes. You don't want to break anybody's heart. You don't want to anybody to call you out as somebody who's disappointing them or frustrating them. Ooh, geez. Okay, with the Wheel of Fortune. So I feel like everything is about to change. I feel somebody has changed their mind. I said it over here. I feel like somebody has changed their mind about something, and it's because you dug further. You really started to observe from a distance, watch, not only what they said, you didn't only hear what they said, but you watched, how did they smirk? Did the left side of the mouth go up or the right? Did they look up and did they look down and to the right or down and to the left? All of those are micro movements of the face, which can tell you if somebody's lying to you or not. And I feel like the Wheel of Fortune tells me that it's your destiny to make this decision after you've got all of the information, and it's going to change everything in a very fortunate way. Tell me more about Capricorn. We've got the Knight of Wands. So I feel like once you've got all the information, you are going to make a brave decision, is what it feels like. We've got the Knight of Cups at the center of everything here. I want to say that the Knight of Cups gives me this illusionary energy, but also the energy of being very fluid. Whatever it is that you're about to make a decision about, you've got to be brave in the heart space, because you might end up making a decision that cuts out friendships or cuts out somebody that maybe you've been dating or been very romantically interested in. Feels like you've got to make a brave decision to speak your mind and to liberate yourself from a situation. I really think that's 2 in 1. It feels like that you are about to make a decision out of clarity. 4 swords are here. Out of clarity, out of really thinking about it, healing the mind, making the right decision. This is something you've really weighed and measured. This is Libra energy. You're about to do the right thing. But the thing is that 2 in 1, I was going to say with the Queen of Swords, is that she's liberating herself, but also as somebody who's putting up boundaries, doing 2 things at once. When I say what I say, I'm going to say it with my whole chest. I'm going to be very honest about how I feel about the situation or the person. And then, the Queen of Swords can be a little bit intimidating, only because people can't refute what she or he says, because this person's bringing the receipts, bringing the truth. So it feels like somebody here is about to bravely stand up for themselves and tell people how they feel about a certain topic. The topic is up to you. Could be about the workspace, could be about the temple, the window, could be about the government agency. Tell me more. We've got the Star, Aquarian energy. We've got the 9 of Wands, and we've got the Queen of Cups. I do feel like whatever it is that you say, you will say in the kindest, most compassionate way that you know how. But I still feel that you're going to say it with a very deep emotional conviction, but in a very swords-like way, where nobody can refute your truth because they know you've got all the receipts in your back pocket, and if they need to see any of them, you're ready to produce that on a dime. You're about to take a group of people with you or change a bunch of people's minds. I feel like you are somebody who is going to stand out say their piece, speak out in front of a bunch of people. It feels like you're going to be like standing at a podium or making a public announcement of some kind. We're going to put down 2 cards here to see what's going on under the surface. Tell me more about Capricorn. We've got the 9 of Pentacles. Yeah, you're going to say it with your whole chest, friend. You're going to say it in a very confident way. And you know what it is? I think you've earned the ability to be able to say it whatever way you want to say it, because you're confident, and also you've built something for yourself. You don't need it anymore. So at the time when I finally had left my corporate position, I had already started my YouTube channel. And I knew that if I was going to walk out of there, if I was just going to say, look, I'm not coming back on Monday, that I had a backup. I feel like you have a backup. So you're a person who is confident. I feel like you've built something on your own, or you've built the truth over time. We've got pre-Empress energy here. You're about to step out of the norm, change the pattern, say something that changes people's minds or changes your life. But I feel like you are able to do that because you're confident enough that you can endure any tower. Look, I feel like Capricorn, you've been through tower upon tower upon tower, and you've been so brave to come through all of that, even in times when you felt that you were going to hit the ground and stay there, that you would never get up. I think you keep getting up, because I feel like you're in this pre-Empress energy of, yes, I'm going to be brave, but I'm going to speak with my whole chest, let them know how I feel about the situation. I'm going to say it in the kindest, most compassionate way that I know how, and I'm going to let them know that I'm here to heal the situation. I'm not here to speak up against the situation. I'm here to heal the situation and give you a different interpretation of what you think you might know without having receipts. I'm bringing the receipts, and I'm showing you that what I'm saying is the absolute truth. You could be speaking out against something that's going on in the workplace, possibly. But the hotel, you could be in the hospitality industry here, and you're speaking to people who can only see things from the street level. And when you see things from the street level, you think you know it all until you get up on the 18th floor and you look out there and you realize that there's more to see than just what's at the street level. Okay, all right. So there's a big decision that's coming here, and I feel like you're making this decision with precision, and I think that you're making this decision because you know that it's going to balance your life. You finally just said it. Tell me about the Two of Swords, because this tells me that once you do say something, you've closed a chapter, right? That full moon that's over her head there. You've closed a chapter. You're closing the door to something, and before the door closes and everything changes, you're just going to say what you're going to say, whether people are disappointed in you or not. We've got the High Priestess, because I feel like you are a person who is in this spiritual realm, right? I feel like you are a person who trusts yourself because of your faith-based beliefs, or because of your spiritual practices, or because of your meditation or reflection that you have had on the self. I feel like you go inward here. You might be making a silent decision. Maybe people don't realize that when you stand up in order to liberate yourself, that you're actually cutting them out or cutting them off. I feel like you almost do it in a silent way. It's like you've been planning this for a while to just finally say it and say, you know what? Then I'm putting up my boundary here. This is my boundary. Step away from my boundary, please. It feels like you have been making a plan from here, and now you've finally just chosen to say it out loud. We have the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is about building something. I think you're building confidence. It feels like as you become the Empress, because you're in pre-Empress energy here, and you're in pre-Empress because we have half of the Empress here, right? We have the Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups. And so it feels like you are making a decision, finally taking action, because this person has their hand on the Ace of Wands in the Two of Wands. And the Three of Pentacles is you're building some sort of foundation. You finally built up the courage, right? Courage is here to make change by saying something that you're going to say as kindly as you know how, but if you don't say it, I feel like you'll emotionally burn out. I feel like you've been keeping something to yourself with the High Priestess energy here. What is it you're finding the bravery to do? Because the Knight of Wands is here with the knee shaking, but gonna run in there anyway and do it, right? Tell me about the Knight of Wands. We've got the Six of Swords. You're probably leaving somewhere. This might be going out in a blaze of glory. Now, I don't see... Yeah, well, the Tower's here, right? Yep, it feels like somebody could be leaving a relationship, leaving a job, leaving Yeah, you could be dating somebody and decided this is not for me. This is where I have to put up my boundary. It feels like somebody here has decided that in order to be in a better place in my life, which is calmer and a place which I can float along rather than fighting the current, somebody here is leaving a chaotic place, which would be a place where people don't really treat you very well because of your belief system, I feel. We've got the 9 of Cups. I just need to be happier. 9 of Cups is I don't need external validation. I don't care if you agree with me. And that's what the Queen has the nerve to say, right? I don't care if you agree with me. I've got the receipts. The truth doesn't give a shit if you don't like the truth. I'm just going to tell you the truth, and you can choose to believe it or not. But if you don't believe it, I'll give you the receipts. I don't really care if you believe me. It feels like you are saying it in a kinder way. I'm not the easiest of deliveries. I'm a Taurus with a little bit of fire in my rising, right? So I'm not really good with my delivery, but maybe you're better with it. I've got the 3 of Cups here. So it feels like you're having a brave moment in a group of people. It might be in a social situation, I'm just going to say, but it feels like ultimately being courageous or being brave is what you're going to be celebrating, because you're getting something off your chest finally. You're finally just saying it with your whole chest, and you don't really... I think that you're saying, I've got something to say here that's going to change everything. And if you don't like it, then, well, you can do whatever you want to do. But I had to clear my conscience in order to be able to move forward. And I realized that I am putting up boundaries now with some people who don't believe like me. There it is, the fundamental differences, right? The fundamental differences is the 5 of Swords. So this can probably be the fight within the self. I think you fought with yourself. I don't think I should do it. Do I really want to leave? Because I know if I say it, I've got to go after that. I can't hang around anymore. I'm quitting the job. I'm quitting the group. I'm leaving the place. It feels like you know that once you say it, you can't take it back. You can't put the toothpaste back in the tube, but you're going to say it because it's the truth. So the 5 of Swords tells me either you're fighting with yourself or this is going to create a line in the sand. The 5 of Swords is, well, if you want to just put your swords down and walk away, that's your decision. I don't really care, because I have finally found my truth. And yep, I realize that you're not going to like what I say, but this might be a fundamental difference that we cannot come back from. It feels like there is a difference of opinion, and you are bringing receipts in order to prove something, and it probably is going to break up something. So the 2 of Cups is here. It feels like you're speaking to either a group of people or another person that you have created a deep emotional bond with. You may have come upon a truth that they didn't necessarily want you to see, because a sort of illusionary energy is here, right? The Knight of Cups is Piscean energy, which is Neptunian, which is muddy waters, which is falling in love with potential. It could be that. It feels like you're drawing a line in the sand, or someone else is with you and saying, look, I thought we had a bond here. And you're like, yeah, but there's a difference between illusion and reality. There's a difference between falling in love with potential and actually falling in love with someone who I'm aligned with. And that doesn't mean that we have to have the same ideas about everything. But I feel like if I fall in love with somebody or end up being on somebody's team that I don't align with emotionally, that it's going to burn me out. I feel like the 9 of Wands is like, I am ready to hurt somebody, but I am so exhausted that I cannot. I can't do this thing anymore. Something has to become clear. I've got hope that I can get out of this burnout and heal myself by being honest and truthful, but kind in the process. We've got the King of Swords, yeah, and the Hierophant, and the 7 of Cups. So I feel like this is going to be an emotionally overwhelming thing for you. But the King of Swords here says, do it. Do it. Go do it. The King of Swords is here to say, I'm just going to do it. Look, I don't know if you've ever seen the King of Swords in action. Somebody who's an Aquarius sun will cut you to ribbons and say, so I didn't really want to say it that harsh, but I understand. You know what I mean? Like, Aquarius never really means to hurt your feelings, but Aquarius cannot stop telling you what is the truth, what the real reality is here. And the real reality, the magician, is you are in charge of your own reality. So I think somebody here is making a really big decision to leave something, cut away something, but I don't think you're doing it with a big pair of scissors, understand? I feel like you're doing it with truth. Because you've realized that you can't hide the truth anymore. Because that, then you are agreeing to it, right? So you're with me or against me, it feels like. So the King of Swords is like, look, we got to cut out the bullshit here. The 7 of Cups is like, yeah, you have a lot of choice, a lot of opportunity. But really, is everybody your friend, Capricorn? No, some of them are just acquaintances, and other ones are friends. So I feel like you're aligning with the friends and leaving the acquaintances out because you're taking a stand. The Hierophant digs their heels in. The Hierophant is building a structure and building their own path. And if you don't want to be on my path, that's cool, but I'm not changing my path for you. That's what it feels like. Okay, there's a decision that you're about to make here that is going to contribute to your stability, because the Queen of Swords is also Libra. It's going to bring you restoration by telling the truth. It's going to give your life harmony, but I feel like it's going to ruffle the feathers of other people, which is really not what this queen is really into. But your decision, I feel, to do something or pull all the details out of something and show people, yeah, that's going to cause you to have friends and enemies. So we're going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, please look at the comments, top of the comments. There's one pinned comment. Click on read more. It'll open up links to the membership. If you'd like to be in the membership and watch me pull this apart, you will get you get 4 extendeds for every one sign that you watch for. And so if you'd like to do that, that's where we'll be next. If you're interested in a private read, please know that I do pre-recorded reads. I also do live reads. So pre-recorded reads begin at $25 and go up from there. Please take the link to Hypsee to take a look at my packages and pricing. I also do live reads either through text, through phone, or through video, and you'll have to look at my schedule. If your time frame isn't there, please email me and I will open up some time frame for you if I can. And yeah, let me know. You'll have to book in advance, so between 5 and 75% off. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I'm going to the extended. If I see you there, great, and if I don't, that's okay. I'll be back, because I'm always back. Take care, Cappies. Bye-bye.